We are staying connected. Visiting Miss V. We still on book one. I know you talked to me and told me that some things was a little different, I guess, what you said last time. It's a beautiful day out here, Dan.
It is very beautiful.
It feels good to be outside.
It does.
How you feel to be outside? You get out much?
I get out a lot.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. Well, I think you did.
Probably more than I should.
Okay. I think you did say that was the problem, that you get out and there's always some BS going on. What your shirt say?
Nah, I'm good.
That's your motto for the day?
Yes, it is.
What's going on? Talk to the people, man.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Tell us what's been going on and kind of, can you remember where we left off at?
Actually, yes. But I do need to back up a little bit on that story because I went a little face first and missed a couple things.
What you mean? Oh, okay, you missed some things.
Yeah, so when I spoke of me spending time with my father's mother, and we talked about her living out west and the things I went through when she lived out west. I need to back up because before she moved out west, she actually lived a few streets down from my other grandparents. And
wait a minute. She lived down the street.
Yes, I lived on Bancroft and Cordell.
Okay.
And she lived on Maynard.
Wow, I have family grew up on Maynard.
Like literally 3 streets down.
Wow.
2 streets down because it was Blake and Maynard.
And you were how old?
I was, I don't know.
But you remember that shit like it was yesterday.
I remember everything like it was yesterday, just don't remember the age.
Okay.
But, we talked about me being caught in between my grandparents and, the situation with my dad and mom, the dark skin, the light skin, all that. But I failed to mention that my grandfather on my mom's side was actually having an affair with both my grandmothers.
Now, were both of them?
So, and they lived
black,
right. Well, my dad's mom was biracial.
Okay.
But my grandmother was African American. My mom's mom was African American. But so just knowing that I was being pulled from both sides, going through that struggle, and then also going through the struggle of knowing that my grandfather was having an affair with both my grandmothers.
Wow.
It kind of was like crazy for me because I would be at this house and then I would be down the street at this house and I would be sitting there and watch my grandfather come in to my other grandmother's house and then go home to my other grandmother, my grandfather living there. Like, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. So I forgot to mention that. And I couldn't say nothing. And even if I wanted to say nothing, nobody would believe me.
Right, because
they never believed anything I said anyway. So yeah,
and that's just how they, they looked at things. But things is different now.
Well,
nowadays, the kids see things and they share more, and we share more.
Yeah,
we feel more comfortable sharing more. Back then, they dying with some real secrets.
Yeah.
So what did that do for you? How did that affect you? Because you brought that back up, and you remembered that. So you remembered it took you somewhere. When that memory came back up, what did that look like for you? When was this, a few days ago or what?
Everything that I'm talking about feels like it just happened yesterday.
Okay.
Anytime I think about it, sometimes it gets emotional, sometimes I get angry, sometimes I wish I would have said stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that I haven't talked about that, I do want to say this though, for anybody out there, I know there's a lot of secrets that we all hold. But I think that, for one, if you ever get the opportunity to speak your word, speak it, because this shit will tear you up.
So you said that
would tear you up.
It'll get you angry sometimes, or
emotional. You sit and think sometimes, and you cry. Even though the stuff happens so far along.
Do you take it out on other people?
Sometimes.
Okay. Which one do you think that falls in your lap more? The anger? Substance abuse? Punishing somebody close? Hurting yourself? And that's thinking and pampering the problem without letting it out.
I think it's a little bit of all of that, honestly. Yeah, and I also think that I think more of it is hurting myself.
Right.
But I will say all of them take a part in my situation.
So those thinking errors, we talk about them from time to time.
Every day.
Every day. We talk about them. I'll make sure I reach out. Because you say you like them and you know you're affected by them. And that's what we just said, that anger.
Yeah.
Take it out on other people. Your kids see that and they feel that. Same thing that our grandparents put us through. They was going through the same thing. It's just more heightened now. More talked about now. That's why we're here now, because we're talking about it. We're tired of carrying it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's okay to say the ugly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing with that, though, is like, I feel like it's a fucking cycle with my family, with all of us women, from my grandmother to my mom to me, my sister, our daughters.
Right.
I feel like it's just been a cycle. And I just, it's...
You see a lot of your daughter in you?
Oh, absolutely. She's just a little worse. But she has, the one thing I can say is my daughter has not gone through the shit that I've gone through.
Right.
And
I was just going to say that.
Has not.
She ain't been through the mud, though.
She has not been through the mud at all. Yeah. And I tried to make sure that my kids didn't go through the bullshit that I went through.
Yeah.
But it still makes me wonder about my kids sometimes, because the motherfuckers is disrespectful as fuck.
Well, being disrespectful the way they are, it scares me. But are you going to be to protect you if something happened out there? Because the streets is real. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. See, I cannot do at the house. But when you get out that door, it's on you. Everything falls on you. Whatever you mess up is your credit report. You wreck your car, you hurt yours, you talk crazy and act crazy to somebody out there, you got to defend you.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you and her talk about the emotional things? Do you try to break that chain from grandmother, from mother to you, to her? How does that look sometimes?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I thought at one point in time that I was trying to break that, but I think that I'm so fucked up myself that I don't know how to break it, if that makes sense. And so sometimes I sit back and, me and my daughter, we didn't have our issues or whatever. And for people that know me, they know that me and my mom have always had issues.
Right.
I mean, to the point where we've actually, physically battled.
Yeah.
But, and one thing I always said is I would never let my relationship with my children be like it was with me and my mom. Mm-hmm. But it's come to that. And so, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, but...
it don't have to stay that way, though.
Oh, no, it don't have to stay that way, but it takes two to make it better.
No. I hear that, but listen to me. It does take two. But sometimes when one person moves and you stay so consistent with that movement, they start seeing your prosperity behind it and they want to follow. You understand what I'm saying? It's no different than two people being involved and one person saying, hey, I'm going to give myself to God now. And the other person say, I'm not ready. Sometimes you watch that person walk, either you're going to keep sitting on that couch or one day you're going to get up and go. And eventually when they see you being consistent, the respect change. They start looking at you different. They start saying different things. They start watching their tongue when they say certain stuff. It can't be disrespectful all their life when they see everybody else respecting you. So I beg to differ when I say it takes two people, because guess what? Again, you're not going to get in that casket with nobody else. You go alone. So if you get you together, they'll follow. If not, you accumulate the new people in your life that's supposed to be in your life. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So don't think
I hear you.
Don't think you got to have her to do it.
Oh, no, I don't have. Well,
you can do it.
Well, yeah, I probably could,
yeah. But right now, in your life and your testimony is what's going to be a part of that. Because you open up. Her knowing and seeing that you're opening up and getting this off of you, hopefully she'll want to follow that. She'll see and hear some of your pain that they wouldn't sit and listen to.
Mm-hmm.
What's one of the biggest memories, man, that you carry, that you kind of think about a lot? It weighs on you.
It's so I can't just pick one.
Pick one that drags you every day. Oh my God, I can't move on without that crossing my mind. Because it's a virus. But let's find it.
Anything.
Only one now. We got plenty of time. We got 365
Being raped
days.
by my pastor's son.
Okay. How old were you?
I was 15.
Okay. 15 years old.
I was 15. Maybe 14 going on 15.
Here you got a young man that's supposed to be
My
have an
pastor's
example.
son.
So have you spoken to that person? Have you seen
No,
that person
I've
since
seen him.
then?
Yes, I have.
They're still just moving around
He didn't know
about.
who I was.
Okay.
He didn't know who I was.
Did you ever tell anybody?
There's a couple people that knew, and if it wasn't for my neighbor who heard me screaming, it probably would have been a little worse. But
What do you mean? Violent?
violent, it would have been a little worse.
Was he violent?
Yeah, a little bit.
You wasn't a fighter then?
I was a fighter, but I was shocked. I was confused. I was
Right. The fact that it's happening by this young man. No, I get it.
by somebody who was close to my family,
Yeah.
like, but,
And a PK at that.
yeah,
You're supposed to have a better example.
yeah.
Okay.
But
So you feel like there should be some
But that's just not even all the. Yeah.
it's okay.
All that.
Take your time. Take your time. Don't nobody know how that feel with you. You have front row seat. And I respect that. You hear me?
Anyway. But I'm jumping the gun here because there's so much I need to talk about.
Here, I feel you glad so.
There's so much I need to talk about, and I'm jumping the gun. Like, I need to go step by step by step by step because, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, take your time.
Uh,
Take your time.
So anyway, let me back up here a little bit. So going through the situation with my grandparents and all that, that was just a struggle for me. The whole little shebang with them, and then all the fighting and arguing that my grandparents did, and the struggle with my mom, and then my struggle with my dad, who was never around. And his people was there for me, if that's what you want to call it, but not really my dad. But so as time went on, and I start blossoming, if that's what you want to call it. Just going through school, just felt like I was always trying to be accepted. I was always trying to be accepted, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I had friends, I had, all that, but everybody knew, like, the type of stuff I was going through with my parent, with my mother, and stuff like that.
So what made you feel free when you was young? Like when you went to school, or when you did something away from home, or what did it for you? Visiting your
I really
cousins,
can't even say that. I for me, even with my cousins, we would go out of town every year. Aunt would take us out of town and stuff. I still was always that outcast. They were all here, and I was always here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whether it was family, friends, or whatever, it was just different for me. Like, it was just different all the way with family, friends, Then it didn't help either that I was always the pretty girl, but yet and still I always had a little bit of weight on me. I was always bigger than my friends, if that makes sense.
Okay. Was that a battle? Or was that something that you kind of maintained and kind of just got through?
It was I maintained it. I just felt like I was
accepted still.
Always just that bigger than girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that time, I wasn't all into like, oh wow, I'm fat and this, that, and other. It's when I got older, high school and, getting out of high school where I felt like my weight was an issue, starting to be an issue.
Right.
But never while I was in high school or elementary or anything, middle school, none of that.
You would think that when you get older, it becomes not an issue no more when you have when you carry something like that, because you start getting comfortable with yourself and people start getting comfortable with you. You know, but I learned everybody have their own battle, but you got through it.
Did I?
Well, okay, maybe you did.
The thing with me is that I never, no, I'm not gonna say I ever got through it, because I even still have a complex now.
You're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still have a complex.
But you know it takes
now.
all kind to make a world. Right?
Maybe. That's what they say.
That's what they say. That's what they say. You have a life. We just got to channel this heavy duffel bag that you carrying full of mess. You know what I mean? Because, you know, our mental capacity is, this is our disk drive. You know, and it believes what we put in it. You know, we're going to figure out a way to dump some things out. But I think, I thank you for sitting down talking today. You know, I told you we're not going to talk too long, because you be fighting back the more tears.
I ain't fighting back.
You're strong. Yeah, you are. But it's okay. That's that soldier in you. But you know what, though? You get it out at your pace, okay?
Yeah.
Anything you want to leave people with?
No, not today.
Not today?
No.
Right.
I ain't feeling it today.
All right. We're going to be back at you probably next week sometime. You got more for me, right?
Oh, a whole lot more.
We're going to get it.
More than you. Yeah, a whole lot more.
All right, we're going to tune in. We are here staying connected with Miss V. We out.